cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is a sign of an empty desk. My name is Dokino, I'm an artist, and I'm a mess. And it's not a dirty or disgusting mess, I'm just really unorganized and it's cluttered. My table, whenever I sit down, turns into a mountain of sketchbooks, papers and pencils and brushes and cats and books, as you can see. I want to share a phrase with you by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is my favorite writer, author, who has inspired me tremendously and who has actually inspired me to make this talk. Make good art. So what is art? Art is human creativity in different forms, pretty much. Art is pretty much creativity. I used to get scolded in school for drawing on the back of my notebooks because I would just get bored in class. And I moved to the United States when I was 16, and I realized the high school education system is very different from ours. The Mongolian high school is very much focused on academics rather than the other part. And when I went to the American high school, I only get to take a few academic classes, and I get to choose from electives, which is dancing, drama, art, carpentry, cooking, and I'm only saying a few because obviously the classes we take in Mongolian high schools are ridiculously, a lot. So obviously I chose art, and by senior year I decided to go to an art school. And I went to Hartford Art School and Art Institute Boston, studying illustration and fine arts. So illustration. There's no such word in Mongolian language. And you can't really explain it in one sentence, so I'm just going to try to explain it to you. There are not many majors in Mongolia that are related to art. We only have these few: interior, graphic, fashion, architecture, fine arts, sculpture, and Buddhist art. That's it. But illustration includes so many things. It's a huge field that includes children's books, comic books, book covers, magazine illustrations, posters for concerts, plays, movies, events, magazine illustration, example, fashion illustration, advertising, concept art for video games, animations, cartoons, movies, historical illustration, medical illustration made for books, educational, informational, sports, graphic art, and album artworks. There's so many, and so many more. So I'm going to get off topic a bit here. I'm going to ask you, what do you think when I say Japan? I think of skyscrapers, clean environment, Harajuku girls, anime, art, kept traditions, right? And what do you think when I say United States? I think of Norman Rockwell, New York, Disney, Obama, sports, right? So what do you think when I say Mongolia? I think of home. I think of it as a great thing, but most people think of Genghis Khan, countryside, horse riding, and cute kids on National Geographic with red cheeks, hugging lambs, So what's the difference here? I feel like people view other countries as their present right now, and people view our country as our past, our history. And what's the problem here? The education system. Education system is very much focused on training the left side of the brain rather than the right side. And I'm a teacher here, obviously. I teach interior design, graphic design, fashion design, and these are interesting subjects, I think. They're really fun. But students here don't really think of it like that, and they're not very interested in it. And I was wondering why, and I realized it is the system that makes it not interesting. They make it kind of boring. Why? What needs to be understood is you should love what you do. You should make it easier for yourself and really like what you're doing and find the good things in it. You should do this because you want to, not because you have to. These kids are told to go to school, they're told to get a job, and that's why they're going to school, not because they love drawing or making art, or making creations. And I remember what my mother said a long time ago, to put your heart into it. To put your heart into whatever job you do, whatever work you do, love it, and then it'll be easier for you. And I'm very young, but I worked so many jobs, I can't even count them all. I had amazing jobs and not so amazing jobs. And in between those, I used to work as a waitress for many years, and some days I had to work from 10 in the morning till like 12 to 1 at night. It was not great. Like, nobody would say they loved the job, but I tried my best to find the good things in it. So I would look forward to it when I'm at work. And then time flies when you like it. So what we need to teach ourselves is to love what we do. Job, school, volunteering, house, home, friends, etc. You should take everything as a learning experience, because learning is great. I love the feeling of being smart. Like whenever I'm sitting around a table with people and people are talking and they're talking about things that I know, and then I feel really smart and it makes me feel good. And if I don't know, I try to go out and learn about it. And then I know, and it makes me feel better. So learning is amazing, and that's what people really take it for granted. They don't really think that learning is amazing. Our brain is amazing. It can store so much information, and then we can use it as creativity for creative projects. And people don't notice that. We take it for granted. We're very insecure. We say and we think we can't do things instead of, oh, I can't do this, but I'd like to learn how to do this. And I just want to say that never think you're not special. Never think that something you're doing is boring. If it is right now, it is. And if you do it more and more, you get better at it. And then it won't be that boring or not special. Grow your mind by learning and doing it again and again, and practice makes perfect. Anything you do. And my point being, we need books. I grew up in Mongolia, and I remember no Mongolian books I read. My grandmother reading to me like Russian fairy tales and like golden books and stuff, and I realized there are not many Mongolian books that our kids grow up with. Go into a bookstore in Mongolia and try to find as many books that are written by Mongolian writers and illustrated by Mongolian artists. I guarantee you will not find that many. Why do we have so many translated books into Mongolian? Why do we have so many illustrated books that are illustrated by foreign artists? I want to see our kids grow up with our things, with our creations, with our books, with our information. No classics. We don't have any classic books that our kids can read and grow up with. It doesn't even have to be classic. We can have contemporary and fun books made for our kids and their kids so they can grow up with a Mongolian education. And we don't have art movements here. The biggest movement of our generation is technology and globalization. And even in that, Mongolia, us, we don't get much credit for it. And the problem is, we're fine with where we are, and that's not good, I think. It's not good that we're just copying from outside sources and being fine with that. We gotta compare ourselves with the whole world instead of comparing ourselves with the people that are sitting next to us. The fine arts, the classic plays, all the art that is made, they're already there. We gotta make our new art. Gotta create our own new art. And I really believe we have originality. We gotta think outside the box. We gotta think outside the box, but still keep our originality. Why am I so keen on originality? Because I do understand the national pride we have. We gotta make our own. And when I say we, I mean Mongolians. As selfish as that sounds, I really want to see our country blooming with new creations. We got so much potential to be great, but no support. Nobody's supporting each other to make it great. And most of all, we should support our young thinkers. Our young thinkers. People who are young tend to learn faster, and the urge to learn is higher. So being creative should be supported, especially during those times. The education system doesn't even give out an option to take art after 5th grade here. After 5th grade, till 5th grade, we are taught to be creative, to be excited, to make art, and then after that we just make it stop, and we tell them not to be creative, to keep quiet and stay in class and do what's told. So how would they know if they're talented or not? If they're good at something, if we just make it stop, right? And I think we're insecure because of that, because the education system, the people that are around us tell us to be quiet, to do what is told. And that's why we recreate things. All the songs we listen to, all the plays, events that are happening, they're all pretty much copies of outside sources. It shouldn't be like that. And where do we start? We need variety, as shown on the illustrations. We got the potential, we got the creativity, we just need people to do it, get up and do it. And to do it, we need support from all the people out here. We just need a little push. We've got to get out of our comfortable zones and make new art. We're obsessed with fashion, technology, and money. We see that every day. You should do your best at whatever you think you're doing and not do it just for the money. Because money shouldn't be the only thing that's driving you, because money runs out, but your creations stay, your art stays and gives you an experience. Even if you fail at it, you get an experience out of it, and then you grow more. And we should be obsessed with creating, not fashion, technology, money, because they're already there. Creating is not there, and when you create, you make new things that are not here right now. Whatever discipline you're in, you have the ability to make art. So make art. Make it on the good days and the bad days. And make art is a phrase that you never hear in Ulaanbaatar. Like, most conversations are about get a job, go to school, get a wife, have children, do you have a car, get a new apartment. Like, no, it shouldn't be like that. This talk has been going on for years and years and years, and we've got to change that up. We need to bring creativity into our world, into our city. These are trash cans made by Jacob Livingood for a festival. Have you seen a painted trash can before? I've seen one. I was walking down the street in Harvard Square and I seen one, and it made me smile because it was so bright and funny. And I reached down my top pockets and I looked for trash to even put it in. That's such a small thing, but it made me smile and made me think about what more is out there. And I'm pretty sure it does that to everyone. It's such a small thing, but that's what art does. iPhone 5. We love the design. People love it. As soon as it came out, so many people bought it. Why? Because this design is new, even though there's not much difference between the old version and the new version. And Apple knows what people need and need to keep their short attention span interested. And that's what we need to know, and we need to study that. So imagine what our city would be like if it was filled with fun projects like that. Painted trash cans, huge murals, green projects, illustrated ad spaces, buildings and stores with cool designs, awesome new fashion, galleries in public places with cool things to do for kids and adults, and most of all, books. Books and books and books written and illustrated by Mongolians. People think art is useless. It's not a respectable job as a doctor or a firefighter or anything, even an accountant. But I really think we have our part in keeping our society's mindset new and exciting. Our new innovations and technology that we're so fond of come from great designs, and great designs come from great art, and great art comes from us, the creators, the artists. So we should support our creativity into our world, in our people. The old rules are crumbling, and the new rules, nobody knows what the new rules are. So we should make art for yourselves and for all of us. Thank you.